On the bug. Oh. Good morning, everyone. Morning, planet Earth. Oh, what's it? Sunday morning? No, Saturday. Thornybush Nature Reserve. With a little bit of luck, we're going to see some nature today. If the weather holds. Got some weather moving in pretty fast, furious. Right now. Deep grey clouds in the south. They're not threatening. Not too cold. There's a bit of a chill wind blowing. Some fuel. Back to the jigger. And it was just in time because I got back to camp as it was getting dark, so just as well. Anyway, my fault for not checking the gauge. I normally keep a close eye on it. I set the director that put the microphone in front of it. Not seeing anything but baboon fish. Lots of baboon fish. Got a tickle in the throat this morning. Sarah. Thanks. Sarah saying, happens to the best of us. Did you miss us sighting? No, I didn't miss us sighting. You just missed us running out of fuel. And making a quick decision that best walk back to camp. Although Aaron did get hold of Adam, who look at my footprint. It confused the guy because I walked all the way down Kicknoss Road. All the sandy places I made sure that my tracks would stay there by walking in the middle of the road. It's a nice walk. It reminds me that I haven't done any walking since I've been here. One thing I look forward to when I get home is getting out on foot again for a while. Sneak up and have some. Cloud is flying across the sky. Hint of leopard. Morning, Kevin. How's Boston this evening? So I think it's strange that people watch and chat about the drive. No, not really. Coffee. I think it's rather amazing that we're able to chat to each other over the oceans, around the planet like this, and we're able to have a community of people with a common interest and able to connect via this kind of medium, so that just having a normal chat in the chat room with perhaps a little bit of input from me from time to time, but having the camera drive you around while you're chatting it's quite amazing, really. boys are up to. The boys and one girl. I've got something tickling my throat. I can feel it, and it's forcing me to continue to try and swallow. And I think it's coming on my epiglottis or something. Bread coming. Morning, heading to Hammerkop Loop at the moment. Oh, nice sunrise. This is good. Just underneath clouds. Savannah. How was Savannah this morning? Both Savannah and Savannah. Savannah in Savannah. How's actually Georgia. Saturday night in Georgia. No, Sunday for me. It's Sunday in Georgia. There's a song about Sunday in Georgia somewhere along the line. Savannah wants to know my favourite bird, and thanks to friend Debbie for recording all the drives. Interesting. Savannah wants to know what my favourite bird is. That's a difficult one. See, there is leopards there. So, I don't know, one of the eagles perhaps, Sparrow's eagle, African hawk eagle, difficult question. Always difficult to choose a favourite of anything. Falcon, eagles, pygmy falcons are gorgeous. Don't get them here, only in East Africa. I think, what else? What other birds could I think of? I don't know, I have to think about it, Savannah. It's hard to choose a favourite. Hello, kudu. Or eating like there's no tomorrow. Wasn't enough honey in it. I skimmed on the honey. It's still good. My normal, usual routine morning green tea and honey. Even put a couple of drops of lemon this morning. As soon as it's disappeared now. So did the leopard track. Hinting at rain coming. how we pronounce it. Dean, John, Dean, in Texas. Wanting to know where home is, as I mentioned, I'll be going home, walking at home. Here's somewhat north of here. Dacre on the road, far down the bottom. In the Thornybush, Thornybush Private Nature Reserve Complex, right up at the northern part of the Thornybush and the Thornybush. And from here, about maybe 50 kilometers just here. Okay, I think we might lose signal any minute. From this road, I'm looking for a leopard track. There were some at the water tank, but I'm not seeing anything here other than baboon. Morning, Raj, Guru Raj, India. What are the rules of the drive? Gosh, Raj, there's a booklet this thick of code of conduct for Thornybush. Lots of rules. I couldn't really even begin to tell you. It's just, there are lots. But basic rules are that only 2 vehicles are allowed at a sighting of Big 5 of importance. No off-road unless it's Big 5 sightings. Well, even then, off-road is not really advised for buffalo. You might get the sun from here. Must remember that nowadays the sun's actually probably rising close to directly along this road, even though there's a power line at the end of it. Then there are rules about how to treat cats with cubs, whether you're allowed to go and watch them or not. Sometimes with certain circumstances only 1 vehicle is allowed at a time, not 2 vehicles. That there's time limits with the amount of time you can spend in a sighting. Rules about tracking and how many vehicles can be in an area when you're tracking an animal. Rules about radio, rules about walking, rules about handling guests, rules about, oh gosh, lots of things. Too complicated to go into it. Rules that are necessary, otherwise the animals get too stressed Otherwise the guys don't behave. Most game reserves with private lodges with game drives and guides and open vehicles like this everywhere have very similar rules. Rules that we slowly managed to iron out back in the 80s. There's a big giraffe over there near camp. Just live in Brooklyn. Is in South Africa. Spell the name for me? There are no bears in Africa, except there used to be maybe up in North Africa that just come across a land bridge from, I don't know, from Asia. I mean Europe. But no bears. Why are there no bears? Because Africa is considered the old world as part of the greater continent of Pangaea, when South America, India and Australia and Antarctica were joined to Africa, and so there's a completely different composition of creatures that developed on the continent of Pangaea, and bears weren't part of it. Bears are part of what we call the New World, as opposed to the Old World. Old World being mostly Africa and associated continents. It's beautiful light now. There are hardly any species of mammals that are even similar. Obviously the rodents, and rodents are similar. But large mammals, the only thing that you have in North America that's anything that closely resembles anything in Africa is the pronghorn. And then even then the pronghorn is an anomaly because it's kind of half antelope and half deer. It has qualities of antelope and it has qualities of deer. God, give this light. Wow. I think we're about to get rain. I've got droplets on my glasses already. I'm not going to go too far from camp. Let's have a look what the south looks like. All of a sudden. But without shadows. Yeah, it's very strange. Wow, vehicle went off there. Find some Brooklyn. I went to there's a botanical garden in Brooklyn. I went to see it. Where the ducks and terrapins are fattened up on bread by Hasidic children. Speaking Yiddish, of all things. Somebody's been up and down here doing stuff. Off-road. Cat tracks down this way. Oh, really, guys? So where can I go? And sure, there's next time I'm in Brooklyn. Well, the friends that I went to stay with, they were in Brooklyn Heights, just off the promenade. They don't live there anymore. I like the promenade. Looking across the river. One of these mares lost a foal the day that I got here in May. There was a new little baby that had died and they didn't know why. When I got here there were vultures eating it as I drove in. There's still another mare and a stallion somewhere. Okay, still in the bush behind us somewhere. They come into camp almost every night. Drink from a little pond. Eat the grass, the short grass. I think they were warthog. Two dark little shapes, very deep in the bush. Stand by one here. I might be out of his vehicle and doing Konzo. Okay, copy, thanks. Okay, thanks. Yeah, there's been plenty of work colouring this morning in those albedos. the baboon trees and see. Leopard didn't do anything south of us last night. Sounds like one of them, the female, might have gone north first. No time. Maybe we ought to just head west eventually. She was making a lot of noise this morning. Well, not really noise. It's a very pleasant call. It is the cry of the king of the African skies. The call of the fish eagle. Very African. There's 2 eagles calling, if not even 3. Mom, Dad, and offspring. Maybe they're teaching. Maybe they're trying to teach the youngster. Teach the youngster that it's time to go and make a life of its own. Baboon, baboon, and more baboon tracks. It's lightening up into the dark. There's some really big clouds around. So, mine have crossed paths with the leopard last night when I was walking back for fuel because the leopard track's going up that way. Well, I think the leopard must have walked during the night after I walked there. Jonathan coming? What happened to that Logan content? Yeah, copy thing. Like a nice view up the river, friends, just crossing. The goons have all gone already. Look up the river, there's no sun. A little bit still. There's a nice big footed bull there in the riverbed with his horns sticking out of the reeds. Not very big, very narrow spread to his horns. Come son, come out. Or did he just run away? Okay, nice and peaceful, but not the sounds that get my adrenaline pumping. Past the oil bushes that have been killed, nice in it. a juvenile. It's got a full crop as well. Well, not really juvenile, it's a sub-adult. And there goes another one. Other adult just launched itself too. They're sitting on a tree on the other side of the river. Must have just been eating something because they've both got full crops. Hopefully they'll call again. Okay, copy. Yeah, I think Jonathan was still scratching around after that one set of tracks going up from Fundla. Yeah, thanks, Brad. Yeah, I'm going to start heading west and north, trying to see if we can find some in Glove. Now you're quiet, bird. Well, it could be that it's the adult pair, and what I'm thinking is the sub-adult is perhaps just a scruffy male, because looking at the two of them there, you can see the slight difference in size. The one on the right is bigger. That's invariably the female that's bigger. Really hoping to get them calling. You hear babblers and all sorts of other birds. Good. Excellent. Excellent, Brad. Can I join you? Elephant's coming to look for us. Hey, it's eagle. possibly somebody walking around, that's why. But that must be near the river lodge. Hello, Raj in India. Again. How long does it take to visit the safari? Well, it's up to you, Raj. You can. I'm not sure if I understand the question, but how long does it take to visit? As long as you want to visit, as long as you can afford the accommodation and things. I don't really know what you're asking, whether how long it takes to get here or how long do you visit here. Most people come to a game lodge for 3 or 4 nights, some only 2 or 3 nights, depending on finances, I suppose. You could drive yourself through the national park, Kruger National Park, hire a car and drive yourself. They're good maps, they're a very good information booklet. There are all sorts of things that are electronic social media network things that are there to help people find animals and find their way around the park. You could spend 2 weeks driving around if you wanted to, if you had the money. Bird coming? I got stuck on near Leti coming down Stricknos last night at that junction. I had to walk back to camp just at sunset. So there are footprints of mine crossing the river heading up to our camp. Okay, well that must be Hendrik then. So I was talking over you, go again? Okay, thanks. And I ran out of petrol. I had to go back get my landing and bring some petrol up. Where doesn't Love go? Yeah, there's been strange things happening in the middle of the night here on LP. Jonathan, come in. Do you still have low visual? Okay, copy. No, I'm on to this one now. That's Mark. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Red's on 4. This is where I walked last night. Copy. I'm just coming through all that worry on the eastern side of it. I'll look into it when I get back to camp. Couple of unhappy guys that were tracking these elephants. They did find them in the Thornybush River at the one crossing. I mean, we must have driven past them. How we didn't hear them when we were stopped earlier looking at leopard tracks and things, I don't know. But suddenly the elephants took off, running out of the riverbed as though they were spooked by something. And the guys seemed to think that somebody was walking around there, and elephants do not like humans on foot when they run from them, so they're a little upset that they spend the whole morning tracking these elephants, finding them, only to have humans walking around. I don't know whether it is the people that have been collecting, whether it is the staff at the River Lodge. So basically, if we're going to try and find these elephants, we've got to treat them with kid gloves. They're probably a little bit skittish. Yeah, right here in front of us. driving off road that I heard. Not an elephant, just a human. In here, oh, not human, but it's a claw. Yeah, metal. Yeah, I'm on the Lele, I could hear you, and then calm down, obviously. So, a little bit forward. That's where Jonathan must have gone in. Tree going. Can I join you in there, Jonathan? Copy, thanks. They've gone back to feeding, which is good. Means they're not too skittish. These elephants that are so friendly, come up to the vehicles the way they do, can still get a little bit nervous from time to time. I don't know where your tracks are, Jonathan. I thought it was here. Bitterly cold wind just blew. That's also another thing, is that they might have picked up the scent of something, wind made a noise and frightened them for some reason. just in front of Jonathan, but it's getting rather thick in there, so see if we can find copy, thanks. One moving this way, but it's just turned around again. Morning. Hi. I'll stick around, might get down to the river again. Thanks, Jonathan. Thank you. Bye. There's one up there on a termite mound. As you can see, it's very dense here, and we're just going to have to be patient. I can just see the back of an elephant standing on a termite mound just through there. It'll give me an idea which direction they're moving, but they'll eventually come out of this, I'm sure. I hope. Another one just to the left here, I can just see the trees moving. Feeding on that for a while. Sorry, Aaron, who was that from? Joanne in Massachusetts. Albedo Road. Sorry, put it to the radio. So, Joanne asking, speaking of petrol, what is the local price of fuel for us? We think it's very expensive, but it's probably not too bad. We're currently paying the equivalent of around $1.40 a litre. So multiply that by 4 point something to get your gallon per gallon price. So we're paying about, let's see, 4.16, 5. We're probably paying close to $5 more a litre. I mean a gallon. Yeah. So that's about right. How many litres in a gallon? 4.5, 4.4 or something.
I have no idea.
I could put my phone on because I've got conversion tables on my phone, but then it will disturb the signal, so I won't. Oh, the elephant's far down there in the river. We might as well actually move. Let's go down to the river and have a look. Now, far away. And these elephants are suddenly, from that little trumpet, there's one here. Tembo! Rafiki Tembo! Not interested. Okay, well let's try and get out of here and drive around a little bit. Rather than sit. I was hoping that while we were sitting and waiting that we might get some idea where they're going to be moving this direction. The 23-point turn. Tight little spot. Okay, so anybody out there? Conversion tables for me? Oh, what was that? How many liters per gallon? 4 point something. And multiply that by 1 point. No. Yeah. $1, call it $1.40 average roughly. And now petrol price is going to go up pretty soon, and it's going to probably be more like close to $1.50, which is going to get it closer to $6 a gallon. The taxes and the government is just milking us dry. And you know what's so sad about it? Is that they're all driving fleets of luxury cars. They're doing hundreds of million rands worth of renovations to their private homesteads and mansions, and the corruption it slays me. So I live in the bush without electricity. I don't want to be a part of this at all. I live without money, without electricity, and I scrape together a few pennies to buy food. As long as I can pay my medical aid. I'm so tired of this human condition called greed. It's killing the planet. Now, see, if we go down to the river, you go down to the woods today, you will be so big surprise. Today's the day. Teddy bears have their feet. It's like elephants. Elephants have their picnic. Picnic time for elephants. Go ahead, yeah. No visual at all. Jonathan had one, I think, up on Dombeo, one young, my daughter. I've got audio of them at the bottom of Dombeo, Bushwillow. It sounds like, I've just heard one colouring. Sounds like it's closer to the river. I'm going to go round back to them for and have a look. Not at the moment. I'm waiting for Robert. He's on his way. Okay, copy. Robert and Gap. Okay, copy, thanks. Yeah, I think so, that's what he meant. Yo, yeah boy, yes, what you got? $3.78 per gallon. Okay, I thought it was 4 point something, but thanks, David T, Florida. So 3.78 multiplied by 1.4 is our price per gallon. What is the gallon? What is your price per gallon in the States, in the US of A? What is the price per gallon in the United Kingdom? Raj, in India, what is your price per litre or whatever it is, closest to the dollar amount? US dollars. Let's work in dollars because it's the easiest to convert because we're close to 10 rand to the dollar. See, if there's ever a time you want to visit South Africa, yeah, now's the time. There's so much bang for your buck. Anywhere in the world, it would be interesting to find out what your fuel price is, petrol price. Nothing in the river there. Yep. I heard an elephant down here somewhere. Nothing in the river. Nope. No temple here. There goes lizard buzzard. Hello, Aaron. Repeat Doctor Who. Oh, wrong radio. Doctor Who. Dr. Karen? Oh no, it was Dr. No. Or was there a thing called Doctor Who? Dr. Karen is an anthropologist in Georgia. And paleo famous. Well, he is now. When we were good friends, he was only just finding someone for his PhD, also from Georgia, Dr. Lee Berger, Professor Lee Berger now actually, postdoctoral stuff, paleoanthropologist here in South Africa, originally from Georgia. Anyways, Dr. Terence wanting to know, are there vets available in most of the parks where there are animals to deal with hurt animals? No. This isn't a zoo, it's not a park, it's not a preserve, it's not a rehab place. It is a piece of natural environment where animals have to go through their natural daily lives without, or rather with, as little interference from humans as possible. And therefore, 99% of the time vets are not needed. The only time one needs vets is if there is a serious injury or there's an animal that is maybe a threatened species that has a problem. But generally speaking, it is very important, it is vital to the ongoing success of every animal and every species that we interfere as little as possible. And so there is a state vet, there is a vet in the Kruger National Park, and there is Department of Animal Health that one can call if one has suspected cases of rabies and anthrax. But generally speaking, as hard as it is, we tend not to interfere with most injuries and most. You've got to remember that there are thousands and thousands of animals. I'm not talking about Thornybush. Thornybush has got its own. I don't know what happens in Thornybush. I would imagine that they have a pretty similar policy in that if an animal is injured due to human negligence or because of poaching or from some other reason that is because of a human being, then it's important that steps be taken to try and rectify them. But an animal injured from the natural course of living its life, it is important to let that deal with it in its own way. Whether it's going to heal and survive, or whether it's going to hinder the animal and it's going to... I just popped down there, didn't see anything, so I'm back up on Bushwiller. Okay, copy. I'm just going back to the junction with Bombay and stopping this. Sorry. Thanks, Robert. Okay, copy. Any idea of direction that they're moving? Okay, copy. Evidently one young bull up that road there, up from there. Sounds like might need to go that way round to the river again. Okay, so a lot of people come. James. Kansas City. 3.58 or something. $3.50. So let's call it $3.60. 3.7 in Florida, Pine Island. So that's 3 rand. So that's 37 rand. No, $3 a gallon. That's 30 rand a litre. 30 rand a gallon. That's cheap. That's only like, that's less than 10 rand a litre. That's cheaper than us. Are we going to be going up to, our price is going to be going up the equivalent of, no, it's over 13 already.
Really?
Yeah. Well over 13 at the moment. 13.40 or something. It's going up 70 or 80 cents a litre, which would be nearly another $2 a gallon that is going up. Yeah. And then they say, oh, relief for motorists. Its price is going to come down 50 cents. And then 2 weeks later they say, sorry, it's going up 80 cents a litre. And then a couple of months go by, oh, relief for motorists, we're going to drop the petrol price by 20 cents a litre. Just before they announced that next month the petrol price is going up 1 rand a litre. Never win with these people. Plus they've got all these road taxes and third-party taxes and Meshuggah. We're going to be going around in circles all day for this moving rally. It'll be interesting to know what it's like on a different continent now. Fuel price. Oh. I didn't see that. Broke the antenna. And he had drums. Here we go. Okay, y'all come round from Albedo side. Can you hear those drums? I wonder if that's not spooking them. They're going around in circles looking for elephants that I know where they're not looking for them, just trying to see them because we know where they are. Can't get a view of them. But I think they're Gareth said they're coming back towards the river down this way. There's buffalo. herd of buffalo. Now there's some Binyaris heading down that way too now. Okay, wait, Aaron, sorry. No, not quite towards Albedo Pad, sort of almost parallel to Albedo Road, parallel to Bushwiller. Just south of Bushwiller. Still near the buffalo. Okay, so Aaron, my brain doesn't hold on to information. Let's start again from Finland, one at a time. $2.2 a litre in Finland. Okay, that's very expensive. In Finland. What was it in Australia? But is that Australian or US dollars? Okay, well the buffalo will get to the river eventually as well. $1.5 a litre from David. David where? Spring. I don't know where David is. That could be in Australia. I don't know if that's Australia dollars. Australian dollars become quite strong against the rand, sitting at about 9 rand something. So Aussie. Mom, Dad and youngster. But youngster should be leaving next to looking really adult-like. Already got his adult colors. Unless it's another adult that's come in and that's why there's so much calling going on. Obviously don't speak very good fish eagle. Stop again. It's going to maybe call in midair if you can follow it. Throws its head back in midair and call. Interesting way fish eagles mate as well. They go up to a couple of 1,000 feet and they lock talons and they mate up there in the sky. I wonder if bald eagles do the same. You can see that they're first cousins to the bald eagles. No, they're going too far away now. Hot palace. Linda, hello Linda. I'll hear from you in a little while. What are my thoughts on David Attenborough? Well, he's quite the man actually. Always been one of my heroes, always read his books, never saw too many of his TV shows, but have actually got a couple of the books of the TV shows, which I love. If he wrote them, I like his writing, and also having watched him, you know, you can almost hear that quiet urgency in his voice when he talks. When you read it, you can almost imagine what he's saying or how he's saying it. I wish I could, I suppose in a way be like him. He's an icon, and in terms of his portrayal of some of the most wonderful things in nature and the way he's brought it to the world, I'd kill to be on his crew, TV crew, film crew. But of course, I would want to be presenting. I don't know if I have maybe. I think I have the presence that he has. There's an oriole flying away. The weather's changing every 5 minutes. Thank you, David. So that was 1.5, I think, Australian dollars from David in Australia per litre. I left them at that junction with Mfunda Road and Bushwillow heading sort of west, about 2 out of 5. I didn't really go off-road for those in Young. Yeah, I'll those buffalo come out somewhere. I should have gone up to that young male, that young elephant bull that Robert had. There's Gareth now, where the elephants are there. Can't see, also, you can't see any ellies, you can hear them, hoping that they're going to come back out again. I'm hoping that we're going to have elephants called afternoon this afternoon. They seem to be fairly close enough for us. If they're going bigger, giant kingfisher. Far away, they're not going to get us back. Like a kookaburra. Yo, okay. I think Aaron had something for me. Yes, Mr. Kevin. Are there any freshwater crabs in Thornybush? I think there should be. I haven't seen any, but I would imagine that there would be. Since this is freshwater crab habitat along a freshwater river. I imagine there would be, Kevin. I haven't seen any. Also haven't seen any signs of them being eaten, because sometimes you do get things like cormorant, Cape Tallest otter There's another one that eats freshwater crabs, and you often find the shells. You can actually tell what's been eating them depending on the remains that are left. But I haven't been able to walk along this river much. Could even see some of the holes on the bank. Morning, morning. Morning, morning. Good on you. Good. That's it. Yeah, that was the same when I was up on Bushwiller, and I was thinking maybe I should just go watch that young bull. Let me just go up a little this side. Oops. There's a gap here, Gareth. No, I'm saying there's like a little open area. I'm going to see if I can see them behind this little rocky outcrop. Yeah, it's good visual. Just over $2 in Austria, thanks Sharon. That's going to have to do for now. $2 a litre, that's actually quite cheap in Austria then. Surely. 20 rand a litre. No, that's not cheap, that's expensive. $2 a litre, excuse me, that's very expensive. Okay, now I want the price from the UK. See, that all tree of batteries. Stealing food from your mother's mouth, you're going to get cross with you. I'm trying to think who that big female could be. Very, very big tusks. Yeah, come in. You're going to push the tree. That's a buffalo thorn. I'm going to break it, madam. Pity that these grass is in the way. Yeah, very good visual. Yeah, I got one more fuzzy coming up to me now. Well, I'm trying to find there in a way. That's a way. It's a little adder in a nest. She's curled the edge of the flower of the grass into this little ball, and she's hiding inside it. And the wind's moving it, and it's impossible to do macro photography with it. Affected by a spider even when I'm with her. Some would say that's not surprising. And I thought there were only 2 elephants, 4 of them. Elephants can hide. There's the little girl with the frown. Okay. Hello. What was that all about? You and doing that? Sort of marched up and lifted ahead. Got a nice photo. Did you get that on camera? For the live, yeah. As I turned, station's back on 7 with, I believe, in Yari, also in the river bed to River Lodge. But she managed to get some roots, that one. It was trying to push that acacia over. And then instead of trying to push it to get to the roots, instead of being able to push it over into the roots, and now she's stripping the bark off the roots. I don't know if any of those photographs are going to come out now because I had it on macro. No, that's a wild pear. That's a wild, thank you. A wild pear. I need to eat on a wild too. Neither what? Looks like he sat on some elephant. What a wonderful few moments. Driving, trying to just being patient. And obviously a lot they were this morning from what I was hearing. They were very skittish this morning. For some reason. Picture the spiders. See if that comes out. Let's see if we can catch up with them again. Can't get tired of elephants, and when there's not much else to be seen, and rather sit with elephants around and see nothing. Although there is a herd of buffalo. So what do we do? Let's go and see the buffalo. I'd say we are moving back into Big Bush again. Big herd of buffalo will be back north, we're not going to see them for a while. They're coming down this way again. So while they're here, camp. Make hay while the sun shines. Thinking of coming through earlier, and I think just a lot of trees, dead trees. Yeah, that'll do. Close. Just say goodbye to you and photograph opportunities. Who wants to... Hello, Mrs. Elliot. It is a sunrise place. Good morning. You'll come to the side, won't you? fade away with the elephants. I'm quite hungry watching them feed. I have a sudden craving for porridge. Good idea. Jungle oats. Yep. Jungle oats and honey. And, well, I guess you all know what we're going to be doing this afternoon. Sunday afternoon is going to be spent looking for elephants. And I guess we'll look for that herd of buffalo as well. We'll try and sit with them for a few minutes too. What was that little one? Trumpet. I think the little one was saying goodbye to everyone. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the discussions, and I guess we can't complain about our pet. Sounds like it's pretty much more expensive. Like boy. See how she's using her tail to. Did you see that? Stuck out her tail to feel him. Poking. Must be his pretty girl. Coming to see what Mom was eating. And, when he moves away, we'll say goodbye. Go and sit in some mud.